Hey guys, it's Mike here, and in this video, what we're going to be discussing here today is going to be a topic that a lot of fans have been discussing ever since the Buu saga of Dragon Ball Z, and especially with regard to the continuations of Dragon Ball like Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Super, if you count that as a continuation or really more of an interquel. So that is the topic of Super Saiyan 3, and more specifically, why didn't Vegeta ever become one? So join me in this video here today is someone you've seen on my channel in the past, Geekdom 101. How's it going?
How are you?
I'm doing all right. Ready to do this video about Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta-sama. So in terms of Vegeta becoming a Super Saiyan 3, for backstory, of course, we know the whole situation of Goku becoming a Super Saiyan 3 in the afterlife during his 7 years of training between the end of the Cell games and the start of the Buu saga. And that was a power that pushed him significantly beyond that of Super Saiyan 2, 4 times according to the Daizenshu, the 2 times multiplier on top of the previous Super Saiyan to give him at least a 400 times boost from base, depending upon if you count, mastered Super Saiyan as having a higher multiplier or not. And the fact of the matter is, at that point, Vegeta saw firsthand just how powerful Goku became in that form. But he also saw a number of different things like drawbacks, like situations where Super Saiyan 3 wasn't really that optimal. So with that being said, Danny, what do you think in terms of overall with Vegeta not becoming a Super Saiyan 3, why do you think that he decided not to do that and rather pursue other forms instead?
It's never been stated anywhere officially why Vegeta didn't do it. I want to make that clear because with now TikTok and YouTube Shorts, there's a lot of misinformation out there. So we don't really know, like Vegeta's never actually said it, but the best theory, which is what you're talking about, is Vegeta saw what happened when Goku fought Kid Buu and how he couldn't really transform because his body was burnt out. And we discovered that when Goku discovered Super Saiyan 3 in the afterlife, his ghost form, or his afterlife form, was able to tap into it much easier than his human form. And maybe Vegeta saw that and said, you know what, that's cool, it has a lot of power and stamina, but those drawbacks of it not working properly, well, stamina, I guess it's partially stamina, but it doesn't work properly. It's got a lot of it's got a lot of like issues with like maintaining it in a body, and we don't know for sure if Goku ever truly mastered that. I think if you watch Battle of Gods, he's using Super Saiyan 3 confidently, so maybe by then he did master it. But Vegeta may have said to himself, let me just get stronger in my Super Saiyan 2. He might have foregone that multiplier just to keep up his own sort of power. But like that's what makes the most sense to me. You know what I mean? That's what makes the most sense to me.
In terms of Vegeta becoming the Super Saiyan 3 or choosing not to, that is a great point that Vegeta did see Goku firsthand failing to really accomplish what he set out to do with that form. Because the thing is that Super Saiyan 3 is one of the only forms that does not actually accomplish anything, at least in the original story, after someone transforms into it. Goku's able to stall Buu, but he's never able to finish the job, whereas with Super Saiyan, he beat Frieza. With Super Saiyan 2, Gohan beat Cell,
Right.
And then that's a kind of topic that continued into Dragon Ball Super. God didn't beat anyone. Ultra Instinct didn't really finish the job in terms of, he beat Jiren, but he didn't actually eliminate him.
So he gave out on him, just like with Super Saiyan 3. That's always been a drawback.
Yeah, even Super Saiyan Blue failed to beat Frieza initially with Golden Frieza. So, the thing is, with regard to all of that, with Super Saiyan 3, Vegeta not only saw that with Goku, but he also witnessed everything with Gotenks, because during the time in which Vegeta was with King Yama in the other world, after he had kept his body, he watched everything that happened. He saw Goku as a Super Saiyan 3 fight against Fat Buu. He saw Gotenks fuse together and becoming that form and fighting against Super Buu right before King Yama decided to send Vegeta in as kind of the cavalry. So he saw time after time again, this form uses up way too much energy. Sure, it makes you more powerful, but you're barely going to have it for 5 minutes before it elapses, for Gotenks at least. And then, why would he do that? It's like with the Ultra or grade 3 Super Saiyan, where Goku says when he first transforms into it, this uses up way too much energy and it slows you down. Super Saiyan 3 didn't have the slowed down aspect, but it definitely had the overuse of stamina to where it almost made it useless. So unless you could defeat somebody immediately, there's no real need to use that form. Instead, you could pursue the God forms, which Vegeta ended up doing. So I think that definitely...
what happens if you master Super Saiyan 3?
Yeah.
Can you overcome that hump of the stamina? That's what we never found out. I thought he did by Battle of Gods, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, so I would have thought that he probably did. The only thing that I'll say in terms of that is I remember in the Tournament of Power, Goku needs to like recover a lot of his stamina while fighting in his base form before he is able to even use Super Saiyan 3 for a very brief amount of time against Kale and Caulifla. So it makes me wonder if, maybe that issue still is there. But nonetheless, what I will say is that I do think that over time they might have been able to master that form, but it kind of does go in line with that interview that Toriyama had a while back where he was like, oh, they're going to focus just on their Super Saiyan form and then the other forms after that, which of course they completely did away with because then Goku goes Super Saiyan 2 and 3 again and all this stuff. And, it does leave a lot of questions open, like why didn't they use that during the Universe 6 tournament, and like, why did they need to go blue a million times? But it's like Super Saiyan God. Why didn't they use Super Saiyan God so many times during the course of Dragon Ball Super up until they re-debuted it in the manga in the Goku Black arc or in the anime in what was it? The Tournament of Power.
Yeah.
Although I guess technically they brought Goku back with Super Saiyan God in his fight against Hit, but either way in the manga. But either way, the fact of the matter is like they never really like utilize these forms in the way that we were told in the interviews. So I think that overall, the drawbacks just outweighed it. It's just like, again, with Vegeta, he could have gone grade 3 Super Saiyan just like Trunks did, but he realized it had so many weaknesses, he decided to just stay in the lesser form and build up his strength. Whereas with Trunks, he was like, oh, I surpassed my dad. I'm way stronger than he is because I have this new form that he never even could have done. And then Cell's like, are you an idiot or something? Like,
yeah,
you can't even do anything. But then again, Trunks barely even understands time travel when he's the only person who ever really does it for the most part. So there's that too. Trunks,
it is confusing. In his defense, it is confusing time travel with Dragon Ball, but still, he it's funny because he said, I don't know if I'm going to keep this in the video, but he said, I don't want to show my dad grade 3, not in those words, because I don't want him to feel like he's, behind me. And then Vegeta's like, motherfucker, I already knew about this and I purposely didn't do it, you dumbass. Trunks is very naive, bro, but I don't really want to keep that part in, but I think it applies. Yeah.
It definitely helps my watch time.
Hopefully they stick around. Yeah. But in this case, that's the logical, Vegeta's never said that, but the logic behind it is, if I just get stronger in base and in Super Saiyan 2, I can overcome Super Saiyan 3. And we literally witnessed that in Battle of Gods when Vegeta gets pissed, when Bulma gets slapped, and that triggers Vegeta's rage boost like Gohan. Yeah. And according to Roshi, he surpassed Super Saiyan 3 Goku even in Super Saiyan 2. You have to remember that transformations give you multipliers and boost your power, but that does not mean that if someone has a transformation, they're going to actually beat someone else who has a higher one.
Yeah.
For example, if Bardock was Super Saiyan with the power level he had in the Bardock special, he would not beat even first form Frieza because the multiplier wouldn't give him enough power to do it. Well, no, he can beat first form, but not second form Frieza. So yeah, think about those things. Like, it's more than just the Super Saiyan form or the transformation. Yeah. It's also how much your base is trained, how strong you actually are.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's important.
And that's the thing too with, a lot of people view them as levels, like, oh, everyone who's a Super Saiyan is the same level of power or something. But it's like Goku right now in Dragon Ball Super would beat Super Saiyan 3 Goku from Battle of Gods with his pinky. He could just like poke him and he would explode because of just how massive his base power is. So it really doesn't matter if they have a certain form, if their base becomes so much more powerful anyway. And with God Ki and different, abilities and stuff that they possess, like Vegeta increasing his spirit potential and everything when he was training on Yardrat, for example, it makes it ultimately unnecessary for him to ever even have that form. So I think overall, when we've talked about all the evidence, it makes sense logically, like you just said, that everything points to Vegeta not wanting to utilize that form, focusing on his base, and really he was better off anyway, because I can't think of a single time Vegeta using Super Saiyan 3 would have really made any difference anyway. Like, maybe he could have beaten Vegeta easier or something like that, but who cares? Like, at the end of the day, he wouldn't have beaten Hit with it, he wouldn't have beaten Goku Black with it, or
not
any
just
of these
that,
other
but
characters, so.
By that point, he already had Saiyan Beyond God,
Yeah.
and that was training with Whis. So he's base Vegeta and Super would smash Buu Saga Vegeta in any form. Like, that's, you know, the power scaling is way off the charts in Super. Like, it's almost to a ridiculous degree when you think about it.
They would even beat Super Saiyan 3 Vegito in their base form. How insane it is.
Possibly. Yeah.
I love Super. Gotta love it. But anyway, guys, let us know your own thoughts down below in the comments section. Also, make sure to check out Geekdom 101, whether he's over here or over here. I don't know when it's going to be showing on my screen, but check him out
over here.
Yeah, definitely check us both out there, but you know, me first. But anyway, after that, make sure to stick around, because there's a lot more to come in the future. Literally.
In the future.
And you better subscribe.